Here we come again, Naija Reality TV. Thank you for all your support. Please don't forget and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.
All right, good morning. A very good morning to everyone in the Grant ecosystem. And it's a wonderful Wednesday. I want to appreciate every single individual who has stayed up till now. Today is the 29th of April, 2026. And this matter, I want to lend my voice to is just on the issue on ground regarding the 5 million man march to Abuja. Now, I've been able to weigh the two sides of the bargain. I wouldn't be reading some of the comments right now because it might be so burdensome and so boring, but at the same time, I've been able to weigh the two sides of the bargain, where the push coming from the GCDM, especially Reverend Moses, and the caution coming from the masses, all people that passed their comments, I've been able to see that there is division in the camp, and it is natural that during this time emotions of people would rise, because people are already frustrated, people are worried, and they are tired of promises. They are only waiting and eager for results. So when we have waited this long for this relief, for this grant, every day feels so painful. Honestly, every day feels so painful. Every new announcement also can bring some level of suspicion to others, and that is normal, which shows that the people they are deeply about their future. They are concerned about what happens. Those who have borrowed money, those who have loaned money, those who have invested their time, their gratuity pensions, and all of their life savings and all that. So everyone just wants, what happens to my future? So looking at those concerns, you understand, I could observe that there are some strong feelings and also some visible ones. One side says there is an organized plan that says if the grant is paid, then the march becomes a peaceful appreciation visit to the president. That is the side. That is the side. And another side says if payment is delayed, then the march becomes a peaceful protest to press demands directly. Now, on the other side also, we have the fear that goes like, if you join any appreciation march too early, that could be used as an evidence that everyone has already been paid, even if nobody has already received anything. And I could see that everybody worries that once the public praise is given, the real issue can be forgotten, which is disbursement. Now, both of these sides, they are raising points that deserve so much attention. To be honest with you, these two sides are really of concern. Now, the first side appears to be using strategy. That's the side of Reverend Moses, or the GCDM appears to be using this strategy, which they want to keep pressure on the leadership while having to remain peaceful and orderly. They may believe that appreciation for positive action can encourage more actions from the government. You understand? Why the protest can be used if promises are not fulfilled. Now, in principle, quote my word, in principle, that is not unreasonable. In principle, that is not unreasonable. Societies do grow when citizens know how to combine the power of gratitude with accountability, having to account, you understand, for what you say or what you're going to do. And on the other side, the other side of the bargain that says if we go on to appreciate too early before we receive anything, they are speaking from experience. They are speaking from caution, knowing who they are dealing with, knowing Nigerian government, knowing politics as it is. You understand? And a lot of people who are peddling this also might have seen situations, of course we know, where promises were celebrated before they were fully delivered. And they fear the optics more than the substance. You get what I'm saying? So they're just asking for they're asking practical questions, which is true. They're asking real-time practical questions. If you celebrate too early with empty pocket, how do we verify that payment would be given afterwards? How do we know that everyone is going to receive what was promised to them? That is a fair concern to me. That is a fair concern. So, but in the middle of all of this, where should wisdom stand? Where should wisdom stand? I think wisdom should stand in the middle. Wisdom should be evidence-based, and it should focus on the people. Yes. The real issue here is not the match itself. No. The real issue here is what comes after the match. The real issue is the result, the trust, or the credibility that comes after the 5 million match. It's a very daisy situation, very complicated, very daisy, very daisy. Now, I am going to be standing in the middle, you know, and this is my approach to this. And I guess this is the best path forward. We have to replace our emotions with verifications. Before assuming success or failure of any scheme, we should gather our facts, gather them right. Have beneficiaries actually received alerts? Have they received their transfers? Has the confirmation been done? Has payment been effected? I think the evidence should lead the conversation. Then we have to separate appreciation from accountability. See, there's nothing wrong with having to thank leaders for genuine action, but I feel so strongly that appreciation should also come after confirmed delivery. That is on the normal level, not before delivery. On a normal ideal situation, gratitude is strongest when it is based on reality. You understand? Going further, if you read or if you listen to what Reverend Moses' speech was when he was making the speech on the 5 million man march, the president announced that he carefully explained the purpose and the objective of the movement, and the plan is strategic and also straightforward. And what he said is this, possibly some of us might not remember this, that if the grant is disbursed on or before the 30th of April, that match becomes one of appreciation to the president of Nigeria, that is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And in other words, or in contrary-wise, if the grant is not disbursed before 30th of April and there is a delay, then that appreciation becomes a peaceful agitation. You understand? Having to take our concerns directly to the president. Only that if we have to weigh the two sides of the bargain, and you know who you are dealing with, knowing that you are dealing with a politician, or you are dealing with politicians who have political mind, and knowing that Nigeria belongs to this political class that is very dangerous, and they don't care for the masses. They are looking for every avenue to impoverish the masses the more. So if we look at the odds, if we look strictly at the odds, I think the odd is still falling in the line of why not appreciation after alert receival. I believe that the real goal is not to win an argument online. The essence of all of this is to ensure that the deserving people who are the expectant beneficiaries receive what was promised to them. Yes. So to the leaders and organizers, this is a very critical moment. People are tired of speeches alone that does not gender result. They want receipts. They want date. They want measurable outcomes. So if truly the leaders are standing for the people, then there should be a proof of openness. Yes, there should be a proof of openness. What is behind all of this? To those that are calling it a bait, that this March pass could be a bait by these politicians, I know that your warning might be coming from a genuine concern, but at the same time, if we go by the leadership of Reverend Moses, who knows, peradventure, he is also going by the standard of faith. We know that we can't rule out faith in so many things. He dropped a sentence yesterday which I believe is scriptural. Like there was a way he said it. He said, if you reason too much on a step you needed to apply faith, you're going to collapse. And that's exactly what happened to Peter. He used the example of Peter while he was walking the tide, and he just began to recalculate the waves. He was calculating the storm. You mean I'm the one walking on the tides and the waves and the water surface? And that moment, he became a victim under a minute panicking or reasoning. So all the concerns are very valid. All the two sides of the bargain are very valid. And I believe that a matured society does not choose blindly between praise and protest. They choose the truth first. So my candid view in all of this is that nobody should rush into celebration. Nobody should rush into celebration, and nobody should rush into condemnation either. Nobody should rush into condemnation. Let there be a short window for a transparent confirmation of all of this. If people are receiving what was promised now, between Monday and today, it was said earlier that disbursement ought to start. Has anybody received a lot? Within this window of 3 days, has anybody received a lot? Nobody. Nobody could confirm the alert. Has people received what was promised them? So I just feel that these things should really be attended with all wisdom and sense of responsibility. And that is practical. The masses needs to be reassured. They don't need to be manipulated. They need a lot of confidence in their leaders. They need result, not just performances. They need result. Yes. So let everyone breathe correctly. Let everyone observe how things are going, verify, and also act responsibly. Let there be no division amongst us. Already there seems to be two factions. But I believe that in the end, no photo opportunity can replace the reality that is on ground. No propaganda can silence any unpaid citizens forever. They will still speak. They will speak. So let our facts speak louder than our fears, and let our justice speak louder than politics. Let people remain smart but also united at this time. Well, I don't know if you could pick anything from my words. The two sides are of concern. The two sides are of concern. There is the spiritual side to this, there is the physical side to this. And we must not be in a hurry to judge any of these two sides. No. Nobody should rush into celebration, and nobody should rush into condemnation. Is your take on this? Where are you standing? But they will not listen to this message to the end. All right, so you will know where I'm standing if you listen to this point. Thank you very much. Best wishes and good luck. Have a nice day.